What's happening? We're here in Savannah, Georgia, and it's cold. And here are the 3 trailers that's always down here at Savannah. 1, 2, 3, and I had to do that one right there. And I'm parked. Where am I parked? You can see it just barely. Right there. Anyway, so welcome to Countdown to Christmas. This is going to be very short. Been busy all day, and so countdown to Christmas. We officially have reached the 12 days of Christmas mark. Yes, 12 days of Christmas has started today. It's unbelievable. My goodness, unbelievable. So they're unloading trucks over here. That's what they're doing. And a little bit late today. Get down here. Hey, Center, what's going on? My man Center right there. A little bit later than usual today, and working on a new song for the new EP. It might just turn out to be a full-blown album, from what I'm thinking, you know. So let's check everything here. That looks good. Hey, Spanky, how are you doing, man? Hi, Joe. Merry Christmas. Spanky says, "Hey, man, Merry Christmas." And yeah, they're working hard on the dock right there, getting stuff unloaded. Thank goodness my stuff is already finished, right? And yeah, so we're just waiting for this break to be over, and then we're gonna haul butt back up the road. It's nice and warm in that truck too, boy. Matter of fact, I need to check the lights, right? Let me just turn the camera around. That might be the best thing. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice. Looks nice. Oh yeah, there you go. Here we go. Hey, Michael Smith, how are you doing, man? Thank you very much, Michael Smith. I'm messing around with Uptown Funk, Center says. All right, man. Aren't you cold? Ain't you cold, Joe? Quit 293. It's a little chilly, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. It's not too bad, man. It's right on the brink, though, where I'm like, yeah, I think it's a little too cold, but it's all right. I'll be getting in the truck here in a minute. That nice, warm truck. Let's see. Spanky McAllister says, Joe, I loved your Vinnie Vincent t-shirt. He is supposedly coming to a KISS Expo in Atlanta soon. I heard about that. Don't know if that's true. I heard about that. Yeah, that's an old... I remember telling Center about that when I got that shirt. I saw it on... no, I Googled it. Matter of fact, I Googled it. And I put... Because they said... There's been some old podcasts that I've listened to talking about Vinnie Vincent and trying to get some old Vinnie Vincent memorabilia. And apparently it was going through him to Vinnie Vincent himself, I believe. I don't know. And he was charging an astronomical amount of money for signed photos, t-shirts, and all this stuff. Now, that's what I heard. And so I said, man, the heck with that. So I just Googled Vinnie Vincent t-shirt, and it led me to a place where I got it for like, I think it was like 15 bucks, you know. So it's probably, I don't know where it came from, but I thought it was a cool shirt, you know. Spanky says, don't forget, the boys are gonna rock. Yeah. Hey man, I had that album. I still got it. I had the cassette version of that album, and I recently. That was when I was in high school, and I recently got the digital format. So yeah, I love that album. You know, to tell you the truth, Center said they sure were pretty in that band. Yeah, I know, man. It's he could play though, man. Damn, he could play. But you know, the guy that sang on that album is not the one that went on tour. I'll see if y'all can figure that one out. That's a quick trivia question before we wrap this up. Who was the singer for Vinnie Vincent after that album? Because it wasn't the original guy. They had a big falling out with contracts and stuff, so he left. Spanky says he also has that album, Vinnie Vincent's debut album, on vinyl. Let's see. Spanky McAllister said he also played with Dan Hartman. Vinnie Vincent did. Yeah, he actually did. what was that song? I Can Dream About You. I think that's Vinnie Vincent doing the solo and the guitar and all that stuff. I love that song back in the day too. Dana Strum was the bass player. Mark Slaughter was the singer that replaced the original singer. I can't remember the guy's name. Dang it, man. Yeah. And of course, you know, from what I understand, Robert Fleischman. Thank you, Spanky Mc. That is correct. Thank you very much, Mr. McAllister. That is correct. And you know, I've actually YouTubed his story, him being at some Robert Fleischman, him telling his story, and I've actually YouTubed Mark Slaughter talking about how it was with Vinnie. And what I didn't ever know, you know, on Slaughter's debut album, Stick It To You, which is a phenomenal album. I recently bought that on a digital copy of that about, what, a month ago? Just revisiting some of my old hair metal youth, I guess. But the song Burning Bridges on that album, Stick It To You, there's a song called Burning Bridges. Mark Slaughter wrote that about Vinnie Vincent because, and I never knew that until I heard Mark Slaughter say that in an interview. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. And but he was just saying how Vinnie Vincent was, man. It was just hard to work with, and he just kept burning bridges. Everybody he messed with in the record business or industry or whatever, or musicians, whoever, he just kept burning bridges like he was better than everybody else. And that's from what I gather from it. Now, you know, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what he said, Mark Slaughter. I heard him say that in an interview with Eddie Trunk. Mr. McAllister says, you should see Vinnie Vincent's old house in Smyrna, Tennessee. It was a disaster, very sad. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Vincent. I don't know what happened to him, man. I hope he got his act together. I think he's gotten older now, and I think he sees that the world doesn't revolve around you, you know. And so I know he got arrested one time. There's a book I got, Power Chord. I've talked about that book, where the guy, the author of that book, Gary Kramer, talks about he was going to try to track down Vinnie Vincent and talk to him, but there's been a lot of crazy stuff that happened in Vinnie Vincent's life, man. It is not pretty. I think his wife was murdered when he has two daughters. He had two daughters with his wife. Something happened. I don't know if they got divorced or something like that. I can't remember if they were already divorced or something, but she ended up doing, I think, some kind of prostitution or something, and she got killed, man. And so it was pretty sad. He went through a lot of stuff. Yeah, Michael Smith says he went through a lot of shit from what I remember. Yeah, he did. And I don't know, you know, there's always two sides to every story. I don't know, but I always heard he was treated as kind of an outcast in KISS. I don't know that to be a fact. You know, I don't know the man. That's just certain things I've heard on interviews and stuff. On the flip side of that, they wanted him to sign a contract from what I believe I heard. And he never would sign a contract. Again, is that true? I'm not sure. You know, that's what I heard on YouTube. I was like, wow, man, damn, he should have signed that contract with KISS. But, you know, who knows, man? I don't know. Thank you for the thumbs ups, folks. That really helps the channel. Thank you very much. Spanky McAllister makes a statement. He tried to sell some Double V guitars. I think he took money and never delivered any product. Very interesting, Mr. McAllister. From what I understand, I think I heard one of the KISS guys talk about this. Hey, Jim, what's going on? Jim Guidry, everybody. Jim Guidry. From what I understand, he had one of those V, and he sold it to a guy that he said it was one of his originals, and it turned out it wasn't. It was like some a cheaper copy of that guitar, and he sold it to some fan for this large amount of money. And I think it was either Gene or Paul saw that, and they said, man, that ain't cool. That ain't cool, man. He shouldn't have done that guy like that. He's a fan. Again, I have no proof of this. This is something I heard on YouTube, you know. Michael Smith says, Gene and Paul seem to do that to certain members. Yeah, it seems that way, Mr. Smith. Mr. McAllister chimes in again. He says it was a cheap Jackson that was painted pink. Yeah, there you go. I thought that's what I heard. I was like, man, that was... But they also said when it come time for his solo spot in Kiss, he would solo for a long, long time. I think it was Gene or Paul. It might have been in Paul's book, because I got both Paul's book and Gene Simmons in audio format, and they touched on that. Paul touched on it a lot, and he said, you know, when Vinnie Vincent went to his solo spot, he said we could have went down the road and got some dinner and came back 45 minutes later, and he was still soloing, you know. I was like, wow, man, golly. So I don't, you know, there's, like I said, there's two sides to every story, man. I don't know. I have no idea. There ain't no telling. But anyway, so let's go in here and check the time, folks. I told you this is gonna be quick. Oh man, we ain't got no lights. What happened to the lights? There we go. Let's get some lights going here. Hang on, Mr. McAllister. We'll get to your comments, sir. Let me check the time. Uh-oh, okay, I gotta get ready to go. It says, Spanky says, but he also tried to do some double V guitars like from the Invasion period. These were to be very pricey, but he did not. Oh, he didn't deliver for the fans. Oh, I heard about he was supposed to do that, he was supposed to have like a custom model or something, signature model or something, and I think that he was wanting too much money for him, and they told him I think Jackson or somebody told him, somebody with the company told him to go take a hike because he was wanting too much money. So, you know, I don't know. The interviews I've seen with him at the conventions in the past, he's been really nice, you know, but I think everybody is, nice on camera. I don't know. Mr. Smith says, which book would you recommend to read first? Gene Simmons' audiobook, or why I say audiobook? Gene Simmons' book or Paul's? Mr. Smith, as you know, I have the audio versions of those. If you're into the audiobooks, I don't know. But for me, I would go with Paul Stanley's book. It's called Face the Music. It's very good. He narrates it too. And I was like, wow, you know, he does a damn good job of narrating that book. Center says, I'm reading the Tony Iommi book right now. That's why that you say that, Center. I was thinking about getting that about a month ago. I just hadn't pulled the trigger yet. I've never, no offense, y'all, I've just never been a big Black Sabbath fan. But Tony Iommi is awesome in his own right. He's like the grandfather of metal, you know. Michael Smith says, that's another one I have to get, Center. It's a good one, Center says. Oh, I'm sure it is, yeah. Michael Smith says, I drive a lot for work. I love audiobooks. Yeah, it's again, I'm not, you know, I'm with Audible. So anybody can get with Audible, you know. I think they're a subsidiary of Amazon or something, and so that's where I get my audiobooks, from Audible. And I'm currently listening to a audiobook by is it Ginger Alden? I think that's her name. It says Elvis and Ginger. She was the last girlfriend to be with Elvis Presley, but right at the time of his death. And it's pretty good, but it seems like toward the end of there, Elvis was kind of kooky, man. He was like believing in like supernatural stuff and trying to heal people with, you know, putting his hands on them and, you know, using some kind of telepathy or something. I was like, what the hell? I think the king was kind of losing his grip. I use Audible too. It's owned by Amazon, Michael Smith says. Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, I got to ride. I know this was quick. Countdown to Christmas #4. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. Center says that's what he uses. Center O from Our Metal Stage. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Hope y'all have a great rest of the evening. I've got to get out of here. It's time to get back on duty and go. Take care, y'all. Good night. See ya. Bye-bye.